How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is Prab here, and I've finally sold my Sony A7. Now, don't get me wrong, the A7 is a great camera if you want to get started with full-frame photography, and I've personally enjoyed the results it has produced over the time I've owned it. But it's a camera that's a few generations older, and it does have some quirks. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my top 5 reasons why I ended up selling my Sony A7. So starting off with number 5 was the fact that I did not enjoy using the electronic viewfinder on my Sony A7. Now, it's not because I don't like EVFs in general or anything, but rather because the one found on the Sony A7 does not provide an accurate representation of what the camera is actually saying. Now, I've tried calibrating it by changing different settings and everything, but I couldn't find a sweet spot where I would actually enjoy using the electronic viewfinder. And number 4 was the fact that I did not like the menu layout on the Sony A7. Now, the A7 does have a quick access menu where you can put certain things that you can access quickly, but like the actual menu itself is organized in a pretty weird manner, and there are certain settings that are straight away missing. For instance, one thing that really bugged me was that there was no quick way to enable and disable the EVF sensor. So as soon as you put the camera to waist level or you accidentally block the sensor, the screen turns off immediately, and it just gets annoying when you're out there trying to do your thing and you have to dig that deep into the menu to just change a small little setting like that. At number 3, the battery life on the Sony A7 was not that great. I mean, I had 4 spare batteries to go with my camera, but I would constantly burn through them. Now, comparing that to something like my GH4, which I only have 2 batteries, the difference in battery life performance is quite significant, and it's just that you don't get the same amount of peace of mind when you're burning through battery levels that quickly. Moving on to number 2, there was no silent shooting mode on the Sony A7, and as a matter of fact, the shutter release on the A7 makes quite a loud sound. Now, I personally enjoyed that loud tactical feedback that the shutter release provides, but sometimes I found myself in certain situations where I would need that silent mode, but that was just not the case with my A7. And finally, at number 1, I personally didn't like the color science of the images coming out of the Sony A7. I found myself spending way too much time in post-processing softwares just to get to a desirable point. So these were my 5 reasons why I ended up selling my A7. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't buy one, or if you already have one, you should sell it or anything. It's a great camera, but for me, it was time to move on. So that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Hit like if you like this video, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.